Well, Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says the White House has not seen the report. Chief White House correspondent John Roberts following the late-breaking news from the White House. Good evening to you, John.
President Trump in a good mood tonight. He is down at Mar-a-Lago, where tonight he hosted a Lincoln Day dinner. At some point in the evening, he was also huddling with his in-house counsel from the White House counsel's office on the Mueller investigation, Emmett Flood. I'm told by sources that the president is glad that the Mueller investigation is over, that the Russia probe is over, and his attorneys are taking comfort from the fact that the Department of Justice said that Mueller does not plan on seeking any more indictments. Earlier this afternoon, Rudy Giuliani telling me, quote, "This marks the end of the Russia investigation. We await a disclosure of the facts. We are confident that there is no finding of collusion by the president, and this underscores what the president has been saying from the beginning, that he did nothing wrong." I'm told it's not likely that anything will come out in the next 24 hours, maybe 36 hours, because there's a lot of material for the Department of Justice to go through. A lot of the material would be classified. A lot of it would be subject to executive privilege. They're telling me that the earliest that anything could be released to Congress, and maybe the first glimpse we'll get of it publicly, might not be until late on Sunday. You know, one of the things that the president did on an almost daily basis was try to undermine the very premise of the Mueller investigation, so that any report at the end would certainly be looked upon suspiciously by at least the people that bought into the president's argument. And according to a USA Today poll that was out earlier this week, a lot of people did buy into the president's argument. The USA Today poll found that some 50% of Americans believe that the president was the subject of a witch hunt. And on his way out the door this morning, as he was headed down to Mar-a-Lago, the president continued to make that point. Listen here.
We're going to see what happens. It's going to be very interesting, but we'll see what happens. There was no collusion. There was no obstruction. Everybody knows it. It's all a big hoax. I call it the witch hunt. It's all a big hoax. So we'll see what happens. I know that the Attorney General, highly respected, ultimately will make a decision.
The next couple of days are going to be very interesting to watch. One of the big questions, will the Attorney General want input from the president's attorneys on his summary report before he delivers it to the Hill? Will he show it to the president's attorneys? And also, might he seek some input from them in terms of what ends up in that summary? I'm told by sources that we are in an area where there is very little precedent, so it will be interesting to find out how things develop over the next 24 to 48 hours. One of the other points we should make, too, I contacted the president's outside counsel to find out if they are going to be writing an answer report, if you will, to the Mueller report. I was told it all depends on what is in the Mueller report, because nobody has any idea at this point. A couple of other things to watch for here, Shannon, as well. If this report goes some distance toward exonerating the president but doesn't completely clear him, it's expected that there will then be a political battle between the White House and Democrats in Congress over the rest of the materials involved in the Mueller report. First of all, the entire report, and then all of the source materials that went into the writing of the report. And that could be a warehouse full of items. One campaign official told Fox News tonight that Democrats are being hypocritical in their call for the release of the entire report, as they have been doing tonight. Quote, "When it doesn't work in their favor, they try to change it." But it's also believed by many people that because of Department of Justice regulations, there won't be a whole lot about the president in the report, because as Rod Rosenstein told then Chairman Grassley of the Senate Judiciary Committee back in June of last year, prosecutors are not supposed to mention misconduct by people who are not being charged. So we'll see. Shannon?
Yeah, we will. And some of these political fights may turn legal as well. We will follow on both tracks tonight. John Roberts, thank you so much.
Thank you.